have been known to be a tad of a prepper, a bit paranoid and a bit of a prepper, so I think I've got that one, but I would keep Milkie safe until I ran out of food. We're going to be asking each other questions. I want to go first.
Okay.
Milkie Way. For someone who hasn't heard you, what song would you tell them to listen to first?
Salma Hayek. No, not first.
No, and why?
Part of me wants them to go from the beginning because, you know, it's like a Discog thing. You know, you got to go from the beginning and see the progression because we have definitely progressed. But if we're going by one that gives the overall vibe of what we're about and gives you a good taster as to what Wargasm is, I would say Spit is probably the best place to start.
That's the wrong answer. We never specified Wargasm. The correct answer was Symphony by Megadeth.
There you go. Sam Matlock. What was your hometown music scene like growing up?
Mine was the Isle of Wight, which was actually at first was really cool. We had like Energy Car and Pendulum coming over to a venue called The Balcony, and we had like a cool theatre, and there was loads of like the students were putting on like sick shit, and there was like some valley parties and things with generators, but it was the standard thing. The council done what the council always does, and just like noise complaints. Yeah, they just shut everything down. And then no one bought the listed buildings. I don't know what the scene there is like anymore.
But then you got to go to Southampton, so you...
Honestly, I spent so much time doing like DIY shit and DIY tours, and I think between a couple of my mates teaching me how to do it and just like watching how people interacted on the Isle of Wight when we lost our venues,
yeah,
I think that kind of like lit the spark kind of thing, lit the chaff, cold the wheat. Milkie Way, what's the best or worst way someone has described your music?
Someone didn't complain about the music, but they called us unwashed children once. And
that person replied on that Jackson post saying, "Replace the boy with bones," which is the best threat I've ever had.
Bones. Oh, who in the band would be the best and worst suited to survive in a post-apocalyptic situation? Your answer.
You can answer this one for me.
I mean, obviously Sam has maybe a bit more survival skills than I, but I'm also hench now, and
mate, you would
we're very well equipped for an apocalyptic situation. Depending on what the apocalyptic situation is, you know, zombies, like what's the crack?
I have been known to be a tad of a prepper, a bit paranoid and a bit of a prepper, so I think I've got that one, but I would keep Milkie safe until I ran out of food. Corn or Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit, obviously.
Okay,
Next question. This is easy. Blink-182 or New Found Glory?
New Found Glory?
I feel like I could have said anyone after Blink-182 and you would have chose whoever they were because they're not Blink-182.
You could have said, but you're right, literally anything. You could have said Blink-182 or Sun O and I would have chosen it, or Blink-182.
Blink-182 or Sublime.
Blink-182 or Being Deaf. Sorry, I just don't relate to it. I just find it a bit childish. I've never got it. I quite like New Found Glory. I think they've got some absolute fucking rages. Hit or Miss is such a banger.
Yeah.
Milkie, what is your favourite place you've been on tour?
I really like Cologne. Every time I play in Cologne, it's always really fun. Germany in general just fucking loves Cologne. Austin is great as well. Austin is like a little diamond inside of the cesspool that is Texas. I like Cologne and Austin. They're probably two of the favourite places that I've ever played.
I like Stoke-on-Trent.
The Sugar Mill.
I like that venue.
I hate that venue.
Sometimes you play these you know what I mean? Sometimes you play these small towns and the venue's a bit too big for the gig. But like back to the Isle of Wight thing, I feel like that's because that's the only venue they've got. And sometimes when you go to a gig or you travel to a gig, and for you it might just be or you play a gig, for you it might just be another Tuesday night, but sometimes that's like the highlight of people's work weeks. I know like getting out and doing music is definitely the highlight of my work week.
Yeah. Who are you listening to right now?
A lot of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I've been listening to some shit that's not quite released yet by a person called Bambi Fug, which is awesome. Please go follow them.
Is there another question?
That was it for me.
That was it for me.